the bones surrounding the nose, and they open by the posterior opening in the lateral wall of the nose. We have sphenoid sinus. This is sphenoid sinus. We have frontal sinus. This is frontal sinus, and we have maxillary sinus, and we have ethmoid sinus. Maxillary sinus and ethmoid sinuses. We have where endocrine glands somewhere here. We have salivary glands in the head and neck. In the salivary glands, we have 3 named salivary glands and numerous unnamed salivary glands called the minor salivary glands. Named salivary glands are, this is parotid gland, and we have this submandibular gland. This is submandibular gland, and this is parotid gland. Okay, parotid gland and submandibular gland. Parotid gland is here. Parotid gland fills the space gap between ramus of mandible and mastoid process and styloid process of temporal bone. So this is parotid gland. The structures embedded within the parotid gland are facial nerve and termination of external carotid artery and retromandibular vein and lymph nodes. Where its ducts open, its duct emerges from its anterior border, runs over the masseter, turns over its anterior border, pierces the buccinator, and opens the vestibule of the mouth opposite the upper saccine molar. What is the net supply of parotid gland? Parotid gland net supply is no. When we say nerve supply of the glands, we mean parasympathetic nerve supply. We mean secretomotor. So parotid gland, yes, other glands are supplied by the facial nerve, but parotid gland is supplied by 9th cranial nerve, that is glossopharyngeal nerve. Glossopharyngeal nerve. So this is, we have parotid gland, and we have submandibular gland. What is the, where the submandibular gland duct opens?
The floor of the mouth.
And the floor of the mouth beside the frenulum of the tongue. What is the nut supply of submandibular gland? Nut supply is facial nerve. Very good. Okay. Sublingual gland is also supplied by the facial nerve. We have these exocrine glands. Now oral cavity.
Sublingual, so.
This is now oral cavity. Roof and floor anteriorly open and posteriorly oropharyngeal isthmus open into the oropharynx, anteriorly through the oral fissure opens into the room, and roof is formed by the hard palate, floor is formed by the mylohyoid muscle, and lateral wall is formed by the cheek mucosa. But most important structure and oral cavity is divided into the vestibule and oral cavity proper. Vestibule is in front of the teeth and gums, and oral cavity proper is behind the teeth and gums. The important structure in the oral cavity is tongue. Tongue is the only and very important structure in the oral cavity. So this is tongue. What is this structure? This is tongue. This is tongue. This is tongue. Okay. What are the muscles of the tongue? Extrinsic muscles are genioglossus, palatoglossus, hypoglossus, styloglossus. And intrinsic muscles are superior longitudinal, inferior longitudinal, transverse, and vertical. What is the nerve supply of the tongue? Motor nerve supply is hypoglossal nerve, except palatoglossus, that is supplied by the pharyngeal glossus. And sensory supply, general sensation from anterior 2/3 trigeminal, from posterior 1/3 glossopharyngeal. Taste sensation from anterior 2/3 facial, from posterior 1/3 glossopharyngeal. Okay, so this is tongue. Halas? Yes. This is tongue. Where other tongue? Which structure is this? Tongue. Very good. Which structure is this? Tongue. Okay. And this structure? Tongue. This structure? Tongue. this structure, tongue. All these are actually
Tongue.
genioglossus muscle or tongue, your tongue. And this structure is tongue. This is tongue. This is tongue. Which gland is this? Submandibular gland. And which artery is this? Common carotid artery. This is left common carotid artery. And here is right common carotid artery. And here is left subclavian artery. You know, left common carotid artery begins as a terminal branch of brachiocephalic trunk. It ends at the upper border of thyroid cartilage by dividing into superficial, temporal and maxillary. Common carotid artery is enclosed in the carotid sheath with the interjugular vein on its lateral side and vagus nerve between the two. And this is common carotid artery. Okay, so it is divided here into external carotid and internal carotid, but this external internal carotid are not clear in this model. We'll talk first. Now take veins. Which vein is this? This is internal jugular vein. Where it begins? This is internal jugular vein. Where it begins? It begins in the jugular fossa as the continuation of sigmoid sinus. Where it ends? It ends behind the medial end of the clavicle by joining with the subclavian vein to form the brachiocephalic vein. Two brachiocephalic veins join to form the superior vena cava. So this is internal jugular vein. Okay. Internal jugular vein, clear? No. What are the tributaries of the internal jugular vein? You know the tributaries? Inferior pectoral sinus, lingual vein, thyroid vein, superior thyroid vein. Okay. So this is internal jugular vein. Khalas. Now what else in this model? Other veins and arteries I will show in other model.
Doctor, the external jugular vein.
This is external jugular vein.
Above the sternomastoid muscle.
Yes. But usually we ask internal jugular vein.
Where?
Common carotid artery this artery dividing into these two, this and this. This is internal carotid artery and this is external carotid artery. This is external carotid. Okay, internal carotid and external carotid. External carotid artery is dividing into, this is superficial temporal, this is superficial temporal, this is superficial temporal, and this is maxillary. So this artery is external carotid artery. Can you see? This artery is external carotid. Why external carotid? Because it is a terminal branch of common carotid. This is external carotid. This is branch of external carotid. So this artery is external carotid. This artery. This is external carotid. So it is going to divide behind the angle of mandible into, this is superficial temporal. This is going upwards in the scalp in front of the ear. And maxillary artery is this. This maxillary artery runs forwards and medially in the infratemporal fossa over the lateral pterygoid muscle. Then it enters through the pterygomaxillary fissure into the pterygopalatine fossa. Then it leaves the pterygopalatine fossa by passing through the sphenopalatine foramen, enters into the nasal cavity and changes its name as the sphenopalatine artery that supplies the major part of the nasal mucosa. Sphenopalatine artery is the main artery of epistaxis and is the main artery for Kieselbeck's plexus that is found at the anterior-inferior part of nasal septum. And this artery usually bleeds. So this is sphenopalatine artery is continuation of maxillary artery, and maxillary artery is a terminal branch of external carotid artery. What are the branches of external carotid artery? From the front, superior thyroid, facial, lingual. From behind, and occipital and posterior auricular, and from medial side, and from ascending pharyngeal, From medial side, from behind, posterior auricular occipital, and terminal branches are superficial, temporal, maxillary. There are only 8 branches of external carotid artery. So this is external carotid. Internal carotid artery usually we don't ask, because internal carotid artery supplies brain. We teach internal carotid artery in nervous system,
So-
because internal carotid artery enters intracranial cavity by passing through the carotid canal. Then it divides into middle cerebral and anterior cerebral. Both cerebral arteries supply the brain. So we ask about that. This is common carotid artery, and this is external carotid artery. So what are the branches? From the front, superior thoracolingual facial. From medial side, ascending pharyngeal. From behind, posterior occipital, and terminal branches are superficial, temporal, and maxillary. So this is external. Very clear. External carotid. This is superficial, temporal, and this is maxillary. Okay.
So usually
Okay,
usually it's internal, right?
Can I talk slowly?
Okay, slowly. Okay, slowly. Okay. माफी मुश्किल. Okay. This is more clear. This is common carotid artery. This is common carotid artery, and this is external carotid artery. This is external carotid artery. In this, medial one is external carotid, lateral one is internal external carotid artery. It is dividing into maxillary, and superficial temporal. Okay. So this is external carotid artery. Okay.
So
about the vein.
doctor-
Actually, it is not in the internal, external. It is at the termination of common carotid artery. The dilatation called the carotid sinus, and in the carotid sinus there are, some bodies in the wall, carotid bodies. These are baroreceptor and chemoreceptors. This you will discuss in physiology. I am not going to discuss how the temperature, how the blood pressure is controlled, and how the respiratory is controlled. So chemoreceptor, baroreceptor you will study in histology and in physiology. But this is on the termination of common carotid artery. Here you can see this is carotid sinus, but in anatomy we are not concerned about this. Okay, class. Maxillary. This is superficial temporal. This is superficial temporal, and this is maxillary. This is maxillary. So this is very clear. Maxillary artery is passing over the lateral pterygoid muscle in the infratemporal fossa through the pterygomaxillary fissure. Then it going in the sphenopalatine foramen in the nasal cavity. Here it changes its name as the sphenopalatine artery. So this is maxillary. This is no. Okay, class, very good. And vessels, lymphatics. So we have superficial cervical nodes and deep cervical nodes. Superficial cervical nodes are, the circular chain and the vertical chain. And here we have submental, submandibular, buccal, and preauricular or parotid, and postauricular or mastoid and occipital. And we have anterior cervical here somewhere. These are superficial nodes. Deep cervical nodes are the Waldeus ring. Waldeus ring are tonsils, palatine tonsil, lingual tonsil, and pharyngeal tonsil and tubal tonsil. This is at the ear gateway of aerodigestive tract, and this is a deep cervical lymph nodes along the internal jugular vein, and these are upper and lower. So this is deep. These are superficial cervical nodes. These are submental, submandibular, buccal, and preauricular, postauricular, and mastoid and occipital.
So the lymphatic nodes.
This is pretracheal, paratracheal, and perilaryngeal nodes also. So
Dr. Tahir.
yes,
So the lymphatic nodes will be the buccal and the submental and the sublingual.
superficial.
Okay.
Okay. So this nose, about the nose.
Yeah.
This is nose where external nose or nasal cavity. Nasal cavity is divided into right and left housed by the midline nasal septum or medial wall. Nasal cavity has roof and floor, lateral wall and medial wall. Roof of the nasal cavity is formed mainly by the cribriform plate of ethmoid bone. This is cribriform plate of ethmoid bone, and this is by the nasal spine of the frontal bone, and by body of sphenoid bone. Floor is formed by the hard palate, and hard palate is formed by the palatine process of maxilla and horizontal plate of palatine bone. And medial wall is called the nasal septum. Nasal septum is partly bony, partly cartilaginous. Bony part is formed by the vomer or perpendicular plate of ethmoid bone. Cartilaginous part is formed by the septal cartilage. Lateral wall is formed by many bones from anterior to posterior. These are frontal nasal bone and the frontal process of maxilla and lacrimal bone. And then we have this superior and middle concha. These are parts of labyrinthine part of ethmoid bone. Inferior concha is separate bone, perpendicular plate of palatine bone, and medial pterygoid plate. So these are very irregulated. But the important in lateral wall, so many bones, not need to for the dental surgeons to remember, but you have to know the paranasal air sinuses. You have to know that this is sphenoid recess, this is superior meatus, middle meatus, inferior meatus. You have to know that this is the frontal, this is this is sphenoid sinus, this is frontal sinus. You must know that the frontal sinus opens, sphenoid sinus opens in the sphenoethmoidal recess, and posterior cells open in the superior meatus. All the other sinuses open in the middle meatus. Paranasal air sinuses are air-filled cavities in the bones around the nose. They open in the different meatuses of the nose. We have frontal sinus, sphenoid sinus, maxillary sinus, and anterior, posterior, and middle ethmoidal sinuses. Anything else? Okay. Now, neck structures. Neck structure. Muscle. What is this muscle? This is sternocleidomastoid muscle. You know the origin, you know the insertion, you know the nerve supply, you know the action. Very good. What is the nerve supply of this muscle? Sternocleidomastoid. Yes. Motor supplies spinal part of accessory nerve, and sensory supplies C3, C4. Okay.
Okay.
You know it. And actually, you know C3, C4. Cervical, third, and fourth. And motor is from the spinal accessory nerve. That is spinal part of 11th cranial nerve. Okay. This is sternocleidomastoid muscle, and you know about the four triangles. This is sternocleidomastoid. This is sternocleidomastoid. This is okay. This is sternocleidomastoid. This is sternocleidomastoid, and we have anywhere. Okay, no problem. Now you know four triangles of the neck. Each half of the neck, is divided by the sternocleidomastoid by into triangles: anterior triangle, posterior triangle. Anterior triangle have four subdivisions. This is the submental and digestive and carotid and muscular triangle. You know the contents of its triangle very well. You know very well contents of its triangle. You know the muscular triangle, suprahead muscles include. You know all this. But the myeloid, everything. Okay. And then you know about the thyroid gland. You know about thyroid gland. Thyroid gland. No, don't. Okay, I will tell you. Thyroid gland is this. This is thyroid gland. Thyroid gland is enclosed. Beside its true capsule, it is enclosed in the peritracheal fascia, and peritracheal fascia adheres the isthmus of the thyroid gland to the rings of trachea. Thyroid gland has isthmus and right and left lobes. Isthmus lies in front of second, third, and fourth rings of trachea, and these are two lobes. Thyroid gland relations, in this block, I think relations not important, but the blood supply of thyroid gland is important. It's supplied by the superior thyroid artery and inferior thyroid artery. Sometimes there is thyroid ema artery. Superior thyroid artery is a branch of external carotid artery, and inferior thyroid artery is a branch of thyroid cervical trunk. That is a branch of subclavian artery. And sometimes thyroid ema artery, when present, it may come from because it may come from lots of uterus. So this is thyroid gland, and this we have larynx. This is larynx. Larynx, this is biggest cartilage of larynx. This is thyroid cartilage, and this is cricoid cartilage, and we have other cartilages like arytenoid, cricoid, and corniculate and cuneiform. And we have this larynx, and this is trachea. You know trachea, Qasabul Hawaiya, and behind the trachea we have this is epiglottis. This is yes, very good. But this is not part of larynx. This is hyoid bone. This is hyoid bone. This is larynx. Larynx has got this thyroid cartilage. This is cricoid cartilage, and this is arytenoid cartilage, and corniculate and cuneiform cartilage is very small. So these are vocal folds. These are vocal folds or vocal cords, haplosautia, and this is epiglottis. The epiglottis also cartilage of the larynx, and we have this is trachea. Okay, very good. Other structures in neck. other structures in neck, muscles of mastication included?
Yeah.
Okay, muscles of mastication. We have 4 muscles of mastication. These 4 muscles are temporalis. Sorry. This is temporalis. This is masseter. This is masseter. Masseter is inserted on the lateral surface of ramus of mandible, and temporalis is here. Temporalis tendon passes through the gap deep to the zygomatic arch, and it is inserted on the anterior border and coronoid process of ramus of mandible. So this is we have, and this is lateral pterygoid. We have lateral pterygoid, where the lateral pterygoid is inserted on the neck of the condyloid process of ramus of mandible, and where the medial pterygoid is inserted, it is inserted on the inner surface of angle of mandible. So what these are the muscles of mastication. What is muscle of mandibular division of trigeminal nerve. You know the action, they act on the temporomandibular joint.
So
what else? Some other muscles, yes?
What should we know about?
You should know in the OSP, all theory, you have to identify this is a masseter muscle, this is this is temporalis, this is masseter, and lateral pterygoid or pterygoid? Pterygoid, not pterygoid. Lateral pterygoid and medial pterygoid, and this muscle is buccinator.
Where is the median?
This muscle facial not buccinator. Other and
About
any
nerve
other
supply and
nerve supply.
Yeah.
No, for the muscles blood supply we are not concerned about the blood supply. Nerve supply is important. There is a mandibular division of trigeminal nerve. You know all from the anterior division except the medial pterygoid. So this is muscles of mastication, and the other muscles, for example, this is orbicularis oculi, and this is orbicularis oris. All these muscles are facial expression. In facial muscles, only these 2, and the third is buccinator is important. Buccinator muscle is considered as a third and accessory muscle of mastication. What is the job of buccinator? It doesn't move the temporomandibular joint, but buccinator muscle pushes the bolus of the food from the cheek pouch toward the center of the mouth, toward the tongue. So it makes it easy for mastication. So it is considered an accessory muscle of mastication. It is supplied by facial nerve, not by the mandibular nerve. Okay. So we have these muscles of facial expression. These 3 are important. This is orbicularis oculi, orbicularis oris, and buccinator. What else in neck structures? Anything else? A variety of synovial joints, articular surfaces or mandibular fossa of temporal bone and head of condyloid process ramus of mandible. And you should know the nerve supply. You should know the muscles responsible for the movement. This is depression, protraction, elevation, protraction, and retraction, and side to side movement. What is the job of lateral pterygoid? So this is Okay, now it's called mandible cranial nerves. Cranial nerves. We need cranial nerves. For the cranial nerves, we need Abdul Badur. And in trigeminal nerve, this trigeminal ganglion, it divides into 3 divisions: ophthalmic, maxillary, and mandibular. Ophthalmic nerve runs forwards in the cavernous sinus, leaves the cavernous sinus, divides into 3 branches that enter.
We didn't study the ophthalmic.
Okay, class. This is maxillary. It passes through foramen rotundum. This is mandibular nerve. Mandibular nerve emerges through the foramen ovale in the infratemporal fossa. This mandibular nerve is this. It divides into anterior and posterior divisions. Anterior division give branches to muscles of mastication, and posterior division give ali branches. Okay? So this is mandibular nerve, and this is submandibular ganglion. Is not concerned about.
What is it?
This is inferior alveolar nerve. This is inferior alveolar. This is inferior alveolar nerve. Okay. So this is mandibular, and Abdul Badur, do we have facial nerve? This is vestibulocochlear nerve. This is 8th nerve, plastinated facial. This is 8th nerve, that is vestibulocochlear nerve. This is vestibulocochlear nerve. No. Plastinated. Okay. Facial nerve, you know the course of facial nerve. The last of facial nerve enters into the parotid gland, and then it gives 5 terminal branches that emerge from the anterior margin of parotid gland like this. These 5 terminal branches. This is first temporal, then zygomatic, then buccal, then marginal mandibular, and cervical. So these are 5 terminal branches of the facial nerve, which are temporal, zygomatic, buccal, marginal mandibular, and cervical. Okay?
That's we know. We have to know. Of course. Where is the zygomatic and buccal?
نظر هذه.
This is zygomatic.
Yes.
This is buccal. This is marginal mandibular, and cervical must be here. Here, cervical.
Temporal. It's like a doctor.
Temporal. This is temporal. This is temporal. And now is skull.
Yes.
So there is a body of mandible, ramus of mandible.
Yes.
You know the features, ramus of mandible.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, you should know everything. This is mental foramen.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this is mandibular foramen.
Oh.
That leads into the mandibular canal.
Canal.
That open, and you know the structures passing through. Very good. And you know, and the mandible, this is ramus, this is coronary process, condyloid process, and condyloid process, this is head, this is neck. On the neck there is a fovea. Head articulates with the mandibular fossa of temporal bone to form the temporomandibular joint. And muscle mastication insertion here. Here is masseter, here temporalis, here lateral pterygoid, and here medial pterygoid. Okay. More important for you, the foramina of the skull are, you know, this is optic canal. This is optic canal for optic nerve and ophthalmic artery. This is foramen rotundum. Foramen rotundum is for maxillary nerve. And for you, very important is foramen ovale. Foramen ovale is for mandibular nerve and lesser petrosal. So this is foramen ovale, and this is foramen spinosum. This is for middle meningeal artery and nervus spinosum and posterior. Okay. So this is foramen spinosum. This is foramen ovale. This is internal acoustic meatus. Remember, what is this? Here.
Where?
Sahi. This is internal acoustic meatus for the facial nerve, vestibulocochlear nerve, and labyrinthine vessels.
Can we see it
Only
from
three
the
structures.
outside?
No, it doesn't open because this is internal acoustic meatus, because vestibulocochlear nerve is formed inside the inner ear. Inner ear is buried inside the petrous temporal bone. So a nerve formed from here, that it comes here in the cranial cavity and enter in the brain stem. So there is no opening outside. There is one opening, that is internal acoustic meatus for the facial nerve, vestibulocochlear nerve, and labyrinthine vessels. This is foramen magnum, and this is foramen magnum. Foramen magnum is this. And we have jugular foramen. This is jugular foramen. Jugular foramen is for the 9th, 10th, and 11th cranial nerves and internal jugular vein and inferior pectoral sinus and meningeal branch of ascending pharyngeal artery and meningeal branch of occipital artery. So this is jugular foramen. Okay?
From inside?
Jugular foramen.
From inside?
From inside. This is jugular foramen. Okay? Very good.
And the between, what is this?
This is anterior condylar canal or hypoglossal canal. This is anterior condylar or hypoglossal canal for the hypoglossal nerve. Yes. And this is stylomastoid foramen for the facial nerve. Stylomastoid foramen. Stylomastoid foramen. So again, this is jugular foramen. This is jugular foramen, and this is stylomastoid foramen. This is foramen ovale. This is foramen spinosum, and this is internal acoustic meatus. Internal acoustic meatus. Foramen ovale, foramen spinosum, and foramen rotundum. This is foramen rotundum. Foramen rotundum. Rotundum. Foramen rotundum